Hey, what's up everyone? Zaya from CarNewba Detailing. Hoping you're all having a great day just like always. So right behind me we have our sponsor BMW M3. Not in the best condition currently. We had a bit of rain over the past few weeks, so we need to go ahead and give it its regular maintenance wash. We do this at least once a month for this vehicle. So there's nothing basic about the maintenance washes I provide. It's a thorough decontamination of the coating throughout the whole exterior of the vehicle, and then we go ahead and take care of the interior as well. We want to make sure that the car is clean 360 degrees. So to my potential mobile detailers out there, this is a great video for you guys to see how basically mobile detailing works. I'm going to show you guys how I set up and everything like that, how I go ahead and wash the vehicle. And for my potential customers out there, this is the type of services that you would receive after your ceramic coating service as well, to keep that ceramic coating up to tip-top shape at all times and keep your car looking amazing as well. So we're going to go ahead and continue. Thank you so much for watching the intro. Let's jump straight into it. Alright everybody, so the first thing I go ahead and take care of is making sure I greet my customer in the morning or whenever I'm completing my appointment. I want to make sure they're having a great morning or afternoon or evening, and also making sure they're having a wonderful customer experience even while I'm detailing their vehicle. After that point, guys, I go ahead and assess what I am working with today. Obviously, I take care of this BMW multiple times throughout the month, so I know what I'm getting myself into, but there could always be things that come up throughout your detail you want to make sure you address, or at least take note of, to go ahead and talk to your customer about. After that, guys, I want to go ahead and make sure I wash the vehicle first. We're still in the summer stages in Arizona, so it does still get pretty hot even in the morning. It's about 8 o'clock right now, so it's a solid 85 to 90 degrees right now outside with the sun out. So I want to make sure I wash the car, even though I do use deionized water. So I don't have to worry about water spots, but you do save on product as well when it's a bit cooler. You use less product on the vehicle. Now, as you can see, I place my buckets in a certain fashion in front of the vehicle, so I can go ahead and take my hose around the buckets so they don't approach the vehicle in any way, causing any type of risk or damage to the car as I'm going around the vehicle. After that, guys, we go ahead and start with the rims. As you saw, they're pretty filthy right now, so we're using Brake Buster, completely straight at this moment in time. The rims are not coated, so it's perfectly fine to use Brake Buster straight. If they were coated, I would use it around 5-to-1 dilution ratio. But what I do with this BMW, because I take care of it so frequently, I go ahead and reseal these rims every single time after a detail, just so they have some fresh protection, and makes it really simple on me to go ahead and clean them up in the next few upcoming weeks. And as you guys can see, I'm going through a pretty thorough decon process on these rims and the tires as well. A lot of guys you see during maintenance washes, they spray them down with their degreaser or their all-purpose cleaner, and then they go ahead and rinse them off and call it a day. I think there's a huge misconception among detailers and also clients in the industry that a maintenance wash is super simple and super quick. For me, it's the complete opposite. If I am taking care of a vehicle such as this M3 on a very regular basis, it's already going to look pretty great compared to all the other cars on the road. So for me as a detailer, that's just one step more difficult to wow my customers. So all the little details like getting behind the spokes and making sure that I thoroughly clean the rims or get in all the nooks and crannies on the interior of the vehicle make the biggest difference, not only for me and my reputation as a detailer in my community, but also for my customers as well, because they know that, hey, Zaya's taking an extra step, he's going the distance to make my life easier and making my vehicle cleaner and shinier than ever. And while we are detailing the rims of the BMW M3, guys, I want to stress something very, very important. If you are working on a performance-oriented vehicle such as this M3, make sure you're not using just any old type of wheel cleaner or degreaser. I'm using Brake Buster because it is specifically designed for European-style rims and calipers and things such as this, so I'm not risking any type of damage on this type of vehicle. It attacks the brake dust and leaves the vehicle's rims with a great finish. Not only that, it does leave behind rust inhibitors, so your calipers and things of that nature in your rim don't dust and rust as much as they do before. I'm not going to say it's going to eliminate all of it, but it does help out a significant amount. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is something that I'm going to call tool and product etiquette, all right? We all know we walk around these expensive vehicles with products and tools and buckets. We want to make sure we know where those things are at all times so we don't risk banging them on the vehicle's bumper or body panels or anything like that. I don't know how many videos I've seen of guys post their details on YouTube, and I see a hose smack the front bumper while they're dragging it. And as you can see, because I put those 2 buckets in front of the BMW, that hose does not go near the vehicle. Besides that, guys, after I'm done utilizing my wheel brushes, a little tip from me to all my fellow detailers out there: go ahead and take those brushes out of the bucket and put them out to dry inside in the sun. This makes sure that your brushes aren't wet when you throw them back in your vehicle, and it makes them last longer as well. So after I'm done detailing the rims and tires, I go ahead and grab my step ladder. If I'm not using the step ladder to climb over massive lifted trucks and SUVs, I use it as a station beside the vehicle that I'm working on, just to minimize the amount of time I go back and forth from my van. I grab all the tools, products, and towels I need, place them on my step ladder, and continue the process. So remember, guys, time is money, and time is valuable for our customers as well. If there's any way to speed up the process but still keep the highest quality results throughout the detail, I'm going to go ahead and utilize that to my advantage. So utilizing your step ladder is a great tool to minimize the wasted time throughout the detail process. Now, I'm going to be using PNS Pearl for my wash solution. I put a lot of it in my bucket. Generally speaking, guys, I do use a lot of soap when it comes to my 2-bucket wash method. I think I used about 4 to 5 ounces right over here, which is plenty in the bucket. And then I go ahead and start rinsing off the vehicle as well. Now, because the vehicle is coated, we can go ahead and take advantage of the self-cleaning properties of the coating by taking our time with the pressure washing stage or the pre-rinse stage. I go ahead and push off as much dirt and contamination as possible off the vehicle before I go ahead and start the 2-bucket wash method. Another thing I do, guys, because I do take my time with the 2-bucket wash method, is I work the vehicle section by section, starting off with the front, working the middle, and then finishing off with the rear of the vehicle as well. Now, as you can see, when we start a 2-bucket wash method, there's going to be plenty and plenty of soap solution and water on the surface to give us proper lubrication throughout the whole wash, so we minimize as much chance of swirling and marring during the wash process as we can. Alright, guys, I want to bring you guys into something very important when it comes to your rinse bucket with your grit guard. So both my buckets have a grit guard in them, but I see too many individuals just dumping their mitt in their rinse bucket and then throwing it back into their wash bucket, okay? The proper way to use your grit guard is go ahead, dump it in there, and actually grind your wash mitt into the actual grit guard itself. Try not to splash yourself with a bunch of soap solution like I just did, but the whole point of this is to go ahead and agitate all that dirt and all that grime out of your wash mitt. When you look at this thing at a microscopic level, you are going to see little tiny particles of dirt and things of that nature, and that acts like sandpaper if it accumulates too far. What this action does, it loosens up all that dirt and grime out of your wash mitt into your wash media, so you have a cleaner mitt going back into your wash bucket, reducing the risk and chances of you marring and scratching the surface. Now, over time, guys, it's a natural process. Any type of friction on your painted surface is going to leave some type of marring or scratching, okay? Even air creates friction while driving on your painted surfaces, okay? So don't freak out too much, but at least try your best to go ahead and mitigate that type of risk, okay? Moving on. So after we go ahead and finish off the front section of the BMW, I start the rinse process. And as you can see, it's pretty methodical, guys. I'm not just waving my pressure washer back and forth on the surface of the vehicle. I make sure to go back and forth kind of like you're mowing a lawn on the panel of the vehicle, making sure I get in between all the nooks and crannies, the grill, all the carbon fiber bits and pieces and things of that nature. Now, there are vehicles that you do have to be careful with. One vehicle in specific that you need to take note of that's very popular, at least in my area, is the Dodge Challenger, where you do have an intake in one of the headlights of the actual vehicle. So you want to make sure you're not spraying water down that intake that goes straight into the engine, all right? So there's these little things, guys, that certain individuals take note of and other individuals don't. So to my potential clients out there that might have an interest of getting their vehicle detailed, make sure that you're getting it from a reputable quality detailer that is certified in your area. So after we finish the wash process, guys, we're going to go ahead and dry off the vehicle. In this case, I am going to give it a little bit of a boost with Bead Maker. We just spray a a few squirts on the surface of the panel and go and gently dry off the surface with our microfiber towel, guys. As you can see, I'm very gentle with the sweeping motion, not really applying any pressure. The only pressure I apply are the areas of the concave and convex surfaces where the towel needs to get into to go ahead and grab that water and remove it from the surface of the vehicle. And when I'm working on the side panels, because you can't just lay the towel on the surface of the side panels, obviously because of gravity, I make sure I fold the towel multiple times so it's plush, where it can evenly distribute the pressure that I'm applying, trying to keep it on the panel of the vehicle, making sure to keep that pressure as light as possible throughout the whole drying process. Little things like this, guys, really make a big difference throughout the whole wash and drying process, and minimize any chance of marring and scratching. And like I said before, guys, we're going to go ahead and finish off the rims with a sealant just to make sure they are protected and make my life a whole lot easier the next time I come back and clean off these rims. These rims collect brake dust like none other, and without a proper sealant on the surface of them, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to clean them next time. Not impossible, but it does save me a lot of time if I just spend about a minute or two sealing up each one of the rims individually. Now, after I'm done sealing up the rims of the vehicle, I go ahead and dress the tires. Now, I know exactly what type of shine my customer is looking for on this tire, so I'm going to be using an oil-based dressing to give it a bit more pop. But typically, after I'm done cleaning up everything, I make sure to go ahead and ask my customer if they want a lot of shine or a more natural matte finish or sheen to the vehicle's tires. So I go ahead and address those accordingly to what my customer wants from their vehicle. So we just finished the wash process on the exterior of the vehicle, guys, and it looks stunning just like always. This vehicle received its Stage 1 ceramic coating, which includes our one-step polish and a 2-year coating on the surface of the paint a little over 8 months ago, and it looks like just like day one, and it performs pretty much just like day one as well. I want to make sure this car looks amazing like always, because it does literally have my name on the vehicle with my decal, and I take pride in my work. I want to make sure that my customer enjoys his vehicle every time he takes it out and takes pride in his car as well, because he does put a lot of effort and money into maintaining it. Alright, guys, just finished the exterior of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and move on to the inside real quick. Now, when this vehicle is driven, it's driven by an individual that really likes taking care of his car, and that's kind of why I'm here as well. We want to make sure it's clean and protected at all times. So the inside of the vehicle is this all maintenance quick vacuum on the carpets. Make sure those are freshened up a little bit with a little bit of carpet shampoo and freshener for the fabric of the carpet. My main priority here is leather. Now, this leather is very unique. There's not too many in this white Blanco that you see over here when it comes to the M3. There was only just a handful that were sold overseas and in the States, so we want to make sure we take care of the leather itself. Now, this leather is a few years old, so it will require some conditioner. After about a year or two, your leather coating will become porous, so you do want to make sure you condition over that time frame. All your plastics and vinyls, go ahead and seal them up with a nice polymer sealant. But my cleaning solution I'm going to be using, I want to make sure it's completely pH balanced. I'm going to be using Optimum No Rinse. Alright, I got in this Express Spray Wax bottle. No reason, I just need an extra bottle, so I'm using this one. But Optimum No Rinse, completely balanced when it comes to the pH scale. Nice cleaning solution for these types of jobs. We're just trying to remove that light dust and dirt off the surface of leather, plastic, and vinyl. There's no type of stain removal needed on these seats. They're in perfect condition. We want to keep them that way, all right? So no harsh solutions. We want to make sure that pH scale is around 5 to 6. Keep it neutral. Take care of it. Let's jump straight into it, guys. Now, the interior detailing process is very simple, guys. When it comes to a vehicle like this, I typically spray my solution on my microfiber towel rather than on the panel itself, because I don't really need that much solution. There's no dirt or anything like that. I'm just removing a light dusting off the surface of the leather, vinyl, and plastics, and gently getting into all the nooks and crannies with a microfiber towel or a nice, soft detailing brush if need be. Now, the BMW is very special and unique. Unlike some other vehicles, the panels and the fit and finish are very good, so there's not really that many gaps or nooks and crannies throughout the vehicle where I need a detailing brush to get into, I can typically take care of it with just a microfiber towel. But if I do need the brush, I pull it out when need be and take care of certain areas around the vehicle. So after I finish the door jambs, guys, I go ahead and move on to the beautiful white leather seats in this BMW. I love the seats in this thing. So what I go ahead and do, I go ahead and put a little bit of Optimum No Rinse in my nice soft detailing brush and go ahead and take care of all those little seams and nooks and crannies. Luckily, you don't really have to spread the seams on this vehicle. They're pretty much opened up naturally with the leather. So you just go ahead, take your brush and get up in there and make sure you push out all that dust and debris. Or you can go ahead and use a vacuum as well to go ahead and vacuum out all that dust and debris. Now, why I don't do that is because your vacuum is typically black plastic. This is white leather. You do have to be very, very gentle when you go ahead and vacuum out these types of seats. So I prefer to use a nice soft detailing brush rather than just vacuum out the light dust and debris within the seams. After that, I go ahead and spray it down with a little bit of Optimum No Rinse like I stated prior and just do a quick wipe down on the seats. That's all I need. If there is a stain, I go ahead and address it with my leather cleaner solution, but in this case we're just going to be needing Optimum No Rinse to go ahead and properly clean off the leather. Moving on to the carpets, guys, as you can see, they're pretty clean as they are, but we're going to go ahead and just spray down a little bit of carpet shampoo to bring back a bit of darkness and luster, and just make sure to go ahead and open up the fibers to go ahead and vacuum them out. After we're done vacuuming the carpets themselves on the front side, we're going to go ahead and vacuum out the back side of the carpets too. Because they are on the floor, you do sometimes pick up a little bit of debris from the ground that you're vacuuming them on. Now, if you do have a table or something, that's awesome. I just don't have the room to carry around a table, sadly. So I just vacuum on the ground, flip it around, and go ahead and vacuum the back, making sure I take off any type of debris that was picked up, and then go ahead and start the real details of the interior cleaning process. Now, this right here is what makes me stand out from a lot of other detailers in my area. I don't always see guys putting detailing lines into the carpets. I try to do them as often as I can, especially on my maintenance clients' vehicles. I find that they really enjoy those fresh detailing lines in their carpets after they're detailed. And I not only do it on the carpet floor mats, but I also do it on the rest of the carpets throughout the vehicle as well. As you can see, I go ahead and properly throw in the carpet that I just finished inside the vehicle, making sure it's all lined up as well. Don't just toss it in there and call it a day. Make sure it's lined up with the whole carpet itself. And then I go ahead and apply some detailing lines on the sidewalls of the carpets and everything else throughout the vehicle as well. Just to give it a bit of pizzazz. Every time my customer steps into his vehicle with these detailing lines, he loves them, so I want to make sure I keep that up, and just making sure that customer experience is top-notch at all times after I'm done taking care of the vehicle. And of course, guys, after you're done cleaning everything up, it's time to seal and condition. Now, typically, I use Bead Maker to seal up all my plastics and vinyls, but sadly, just a few minutes ago, my bottle broke on me. But like always, guys, I have a spare of all my solutions, so I did have an extra polymer sealant on hand to go in and take care of the plastics and vinyls of the vehicle, making sure that you cover everything when it comes to underneath the leather areas, and also the handlebar, get in between the actual handle itself. Now, when you're working on the carbon fiber bits and pieces or piano black surfaces, make sure that your microfiber towel is clean or brand new and there's enough lubrication on there to go ahead and seal up those areas. Those surfaces are just like the exterior of the vehicle. They're clear coated, so you want to make sure you minimize any type of marring or scratching in those areas. So after I finish sealing, conditioning all the plastic, vinyl, and leather surfaces of the interior, I make sure to go ahead and clean and seal all the door jambs as well. Make sure you're using a fresh, clean microfiber towel. I'm going to be using the Rag Company Spectrum microfiber towel. It's a nice, soft towel for these types of areas, and it's very durable as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and seal up all the door jambs as well to add that protection to those surfaces. Yes, I take care of the bottom of the door jamb too. Little details like this, guys, is what I pay attention to throughout all my detail processes, especially on my higher end services and ceramic coated vehicles as well. So I want to make sure not only I get the ceramic coating service, make the sale, make that quality result, and finish on the vehicle surface, but I also want to make sure I maintain it after that point as well. Last thing, guys, when it comes to cleaning the vehicle are the glass surfaces. We all know this glass is a pain in the butt, but because these windows are typically cleaned very frequently and they also have a sealant on top of there as well, it makes life pretty easy on me when it comes to cleaning them up at the end of the day. Now, before I present the vehicle to my customer, I make sure to clean out all my products, solutions, and tools, throw everything back in the van so there's like I wasn't even there. I never present the vehicle to a customer with any of my stuff lying around. I want to make sure that the area is clean and fresh, just like the vehicle itself. I also go ahead and take my blower because I am underneath the tree. I want to make sure I get rid of any type of leaves or debris that landed on top of the vehicle before I present it to my customer. And the last thing I do, guys, and this is very important for my detailers and business guys and girls out there, is I make sure to make some content on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media that you're on. That's exactly what I'm doing here. If you go ahead and check out my Instagram below, you can go ahead and see exactly what I post on my story and on my post as well, and how I got from 100 followers on Instagram to almost 1,000 followers in less than a year. Yes, I had help along the way with fellow companions such as individuals from the rag company and other manufacturers support me and sponsor me, but it was because of the content I created on those platforms that got me those sponsorships and things of that nature. So yes, your goal is to detail the vehicle and provide a great customer experience, but you are also a marketing professional in this case if you are working alone, which I do. So I detail, I record, I make sure I answer any questions for my customer. All these things you have to keep in mind throughout your detail every single time, guys. Create content, create awesome results, and create a wonderful experience for your customer. And trust me, your customers are going to be coming back every single time. Now, if you guys enjoyed the video you just watched, please make sure to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and ask any questions below in the comment section. I'm more than happy to help out. This is a community that I'm building here on YouTube and also on Instagram, so make sure to check me out on my social media platforms as well. And thank you so much for watching. Like always, guys, I really appreciate your support, and have a great rest of the day.